All right, well, we have Jeff here from Kasteel Property Management. And
Hello.
I'm hello, and I'm so excited to have him here today. So, Jeff, I'm going to basically just turn the time over to you. I kind of want to know more about your company, what you guys do, and how you've responded, slash if there's been any difference since the pandemic has started.
Yeah, definitely has been different in some ways. In some ways, it's the things we've been doing all along has really proved to be extra useful during this time. But some things that have really changed is, of course, a lot of people have heard about and even heard misinformation about whether there's loan forgiveness or whether they can get a delay on their loan or not. Sorry, not their loan, their rent. And what that means. So there's been a lot of back and forth and information, and scared property owners and tenants with lots of questions and not understanding what's been going on with that. And so what's been really helpful is at Kasteel Property Management, we have an attorney on retainer that in their firm, one of the attorneys is actually a state senator. And he's been working closely with the state and even helping to advise there. And so he's had a lot of firsthand information. So whenever an announcement's been made, we get an email pretty quick from our attorney letting us know, okay, this is what this means. You need to understand what you can do, what you can't do, and what the governor wants you to do here, and what's coming out with the CARES Act from the federal government. And so that's been really helpful that we have that resource. So it's helped us stay in compliance with what we need to do, yet also be able to help the tenants that need that help right now during the pandemic. And so we've been able to bring that together and had our policies in place immediately, and being able to get accurate and correct information out to both our clients, the property owners, and the tenants.
Oh,
So
that is so wonderful.
yeah, it's been really helpful. I think because of our ability to quickly understand and process the changes and get that information out, it really didn't impact our company too much. I know some of my bigger clients that have a lot of rental properties, they were concerned, are they going to get a big hit this month with a lot of people asking for a delay on their rent? And I'm pleased to say that out of about 145 tenants, we only had 2 that said, hey, I need some help this month, and we were able to work out an agreement with them, a plan, so that they can kind of delay their rent a little bit and not get hit with late fees. So, and our objective there is not just to push their rent off to where their rent just piles up and they get farther and farther behind, but a plan that actually helps them stay on top of it without getting behind and getting hit with late fees that make it even worse and harder for them.
Sure.
So,
And that is so wonderful. What a blessing for them that you guys are working with them like that. That's awesome.
yeah, it's worked out really good, and a lot of my clients are happy, and it's been helping out those tenants. So, and then a lot of the other things that we already do has proven to be extra helpful. For example, how we show vacancies. We used to years ago, we used to show vacancies like everybody else does. We'd take a phone call and we'd set an appointment to go show it. And anybody that's done that method knows probably about 50% of the time people don't show up. You end up wasting a lot of time, and or people, you just can't find a time that where calendars mesh, to where they can come when we can get there. So the strategy that we devised that's really proven to be helpful right now is they'll text us a picture of their driver's license, and then we can give them a code that they can use to unlock the door, and then go tour the place themselves. And then we're out there regularly changing that code to keep the place secure. And it's really proven over the years, it's proven that gets places filled a lot faster and this place still stays secure because we have their identification information, and like I said, that code's changed regularly. But I realized from their perspective, they usually have 15 or 20 places that they're considering. Whichever one they can gravitate towards the easiest is where they end up, right? So
Sure.
so when they're going down their list, I'm like, yeah, you can go look at it whenever's convenient for you. They're out there right away. I've actually had people within 20 minutes of calling me, they've been out there and looked at it and then filled out an application right on their phone. And because I can remotely access my office no matter where I'm at, I was able to process their application, do credit, criminal background check, verify employment, and get them a lease back on their phone for them to sign electronically, all within about 15 or 20 minutes. So it can go that quickly. It doesn't obviously go that quickly all the time, depending on their actions. But yeah, so that's really been helpful to where we can keep the social distancing. We don't have to go out and meet people individually and parade people through all the vacancies. We're able to just send them out there by themselves. And so that's been a really big help of something that like I said, we've been doing all along, but has really proven to be extra helpful right now. We didn't have to scramble to try and figure out new methods.
I think that's so smart. I know for myself, I always tend to gravitate towards, okay, what is the path of least resistance for me? And that seems like what you guys are doing, that whole setup provides that for your potential customers. That's so smart. So do you have any like tips that you would give for like potential tenants or, or just as an expert in your field, anything that you're like, okay, right now, here's what I would do if I was a potential tenant or looking for a place or whatever, or investing, that type of thing?
Yeah, as a tenant, I would say just communicate with your landlord. Communication is always best. A lot of times people, they don't want to face a problem. And so they kind of ignore it until the problem has come back and gotten their attention. And so I would recommend talk to your landlord in advance. Landlords are generally like everybody else. They just want to keep things running smoothly and know what's going on. And they have their, the information that they need to work with and take care of too. And if you communicate in advance, a lot of times we know what's going on, and it prevents things from getting to a certain point that we can't back out of. But communication and follow through is always much preferred and makes things work out much better for everybody. And then as far as advice for an investor, a landlord, is just make sure you have good information. A lot of things have changed in the last few weeks, and you need to know what those changes are, because if you continue as you always have, as far as how you deal with late rent, you could find yourself in trouble. And so make sure that you have accurate information, that you have good resources to get that from. And of course, at Kasteel Property Management, we'd be happy to help you with that. But wherever you're getting your information, make sure you're getting that information. Yeah, I think that's the main things. Just stay on top of it. You need to have your ear to the ground, so to speak, and know what's really going on.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I can't think of any other questions I have for you at this time. Is there anything in closing that you'd like to say?
I guess just I think a lot of the things that have changed lately are exciting. For example, what we're doing right here. This technology has been here a long time, and it's been somewhat utilized, but now all of a sudden it's being used a lot. And I hear people saying all the time, why didn't we do this before? This is so much nicer. This is so much easier. And I think it'll be fun and exciting to see all of the changes that have come to all the different businesses around as to how they're gonna start doing things differently now that they've kind of had their eyes open to different ways. So
I'll agree with that. Well, Jeff, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.